This was supposed to be a family reunion, reconciliation, all of those good words, flowery words, right? That Meghan wanted us to believe the reason why she was going to be going to UK. But of course, that got all cancelled. Everything is just vanished. Everything is just falling apart more and more as we see how she's freaking out at the moment. And amid all of this propaganda that she came up with, and also with the Sussex squad and the WhatsApp group, all of these propagandists, the more they're coming up with all of this, the more it is actually now backfiring, because they're, even though they're trying to portray her as the victim, as the good person, and those are the bad guys, including himself, Charles Spencer, Earl Spencer, and the entire monarchy, the British royal family members. But it is not panning out. And so when he knew, Charles Spencer, that she is coming, he had to say something. He had to warn Prince William about her upcoming visit to UK. But before we talk about that more in a second, I want to talk about this one, the Invictus game in of itself. What is going on? It's a complete disaster, guys. Before I share all the details with you, if you're not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Hit the like, also leave a comment. Quote, "It is confirmed that no senior royals will be present at the Invictus Games launch in Birmingham." Controversy over Invictus. Analysts characterize the current state of the Invictus Games as a quote-unquote mess. It's a complete mess, influenced by the involvement of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, shifting the focus away from the veterans. No doubt it is always about really them, not about the veterans at all. Legal and security struggles. Harry is dealing with an ongoing legal battle against Associated News Limited and continues to challenge his security arrangements in the United Kingdom. Not only that he's challenging the UK government, but also he's challenging his own father, his own family members. How come you're not giving it to me? Come on, please give it to me, right? Like going crazy about the whole thing, like a little child. A potential secret meeting. Let's talk about that. Now, insider, this is coming from Insider Report, okay? Reports suggest Prince Harry is attempting to secure a one-to-one meeting with the British Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood. I mean, Shabana Mahmood is a complete disaster. She is the worst of the worst kind. I don't think she will do anything for him. The government has fallen apart in the UK. It is not really a good time for her to talk about his security concern. To discuss his security concerns. Okay, I don't think that will happen. Analysts note this may be difficult due to shifting government dynamics. Exactly. The government right now is falling apart in the UK. Misconceptions of royal power. Analysts argue that Prince Harry maintains a belief that his father, King Charles, could easily intervene in security decisions despite the king lacking the authority to change official security protocols. I do not know what in the world will convince him that, hey, look, what you are asking for, your father cannot give it to you, because that is simply not under his jurisdiction. He doesn't have the authority. He doesn't have the power to change anything. So why are you making this fuss non-stop? I don't know who can tell him that, but this is what also is coming on the news, and it basically says that Charles Spencer issues a last-minute warning. Meghan is terrified. So Charles Spencer allegedly warned Prince William that if Meghan does come to UK, she will make it extremely stressful for everyone, particularly for the king with all of his cancer issues and aging and things like that. It will be a complete disaster. And I have mentioned this in my previous video that Earl Spencer, or Charles Spencer, he teamed up with William to defend the monarchy from Meghan's smear campaign. And I said this many times in my previous commentaries. And this time when he heard that this duplicitous duos, they're coming to UK, he knew that they are not up to any good. They are here for they will be here for some really sinister purposes. But of course, now that all got cancelled, it is such a relief. I want you to take a listen at this very interesting reporting.
But let's go to my panel on Harry, shall we? This Sun headline's pretty sensational, isn't it? Prince's UK visit in chaos. The King's patience snapped at Harry's chaotic bid to stay at Buckingham Palace, say 8. And this is reportedly that Harry took too long to respond to the invitation, Carol.
What happened was, he's been banging on for months, Harry, about how he wants to come here and he wants this to be a reconciliation visit, wants to bring Meghan and the kids to spend time with his father, he wants to reconcile with his father. No, he doesn't. He's a selfish, entitled individual. And what happened was, he was invited to stay at Buckingham Palace and he said no, because he thought it wasn't secure enough. One of the most secure buildings on the planet wasn't secure enough. Then, and imagine all the planning that went into that. Then a few days later, he changed his mind and said, oh, yes, actually, I don't want to stay there. And they just said, no, get lost. And you know, Charles has quite rightly snapped. Wills has been warning Charles for months about Harry and saying, stop bending over backwards to accommodate him. He's only going to mess about. And this is exactly what he's done. Yep. He's faffed about. He could have come here with no fuss, with Meghan and the kids, stayed with the King and got the reconciliation he says he wants. But he doesn't. Yeah. He just wants his own way.
Well, he was warned by his son, William, a king, and William never wanted him to come even close to Buckingham Palace. But the king said, okay, he's my son. I cannot just abandon him. I cannot ignore him. If he's coming, then I will give him accommodation at Buckingham Palace. But there is one condition for that. It cannot be that he will be coming all by himself. It has to be with the family. It has to be the kids. It's not that the king was so desperate to see his grandchildren. I don't think at this point he cares. But it was the fact that he cannot just give it to him, a palace, a room, to his son, who is not a working royal, for no reason. It's the only thing that, the only time he could accommodate Harry with free lodging would be if he brings his own, his entire family. And that will make sense, because remember, even if the king agrees to accommodate him at Buckingham Palace, the king will not pay from his pocket. It is still coming from the tax dollars money. Therefore, you have to have a very solid, very good reason why this money will be spent on you to make it a public case. Which Harry was like, I don't care. I need full protection. I need more to it, not just the palace. But then eventually when the king was like, no, I'm not even giving you the palace anymore, and the palace was freaking out, as I said many times, the palace was on high alert, because you never know what he was up to. When they said finally, okay, your time is up, we are not even giving you the palace, now it is impossible for him to come to UK with his own terms and conditions applied. That is over for him for good.
And this was all precipitated by he was turned down by Ravik last year in the appeal court.
Exactly.
And Ravik said, this is the UK's security group, who said he could not have police protection. He chanced his arm again this year and asked them to review it. They said, no, nothing's changed. So he threw his toys at the pram and said, okay, I'm not bringing my wife and kids. The man he's 41 years old and he's a child.
He's a child. He's a man-child, and he doesn't understand how these things work, unfortunately, and I do not know why. But I think he does understand how these things work, but his wife is influencing his decision. His wife is telling him, you're a loser, such a loser, you cannot give me a security in your own country. And so he was like, yeah, I'm sorry, my boss, let me fix this situation. So he was going back and forth with Ravik and with his father and all that. I'll give you more updates, guys. I have a comment here. Nothing, Said. Morning, Said. Thank you. Thank you, Diane. Thank you so much for your comment. I can hardly read it because it's a little bit too far. Thanks again for your comments.